you got to be a good recruiter. I recruited the best woman on the planet, in my opinion. And that's the only opinion that matters. So, as my wife told you all, we are specialists in finance. We help people understand how to play the game of money. We're from BK, New Yorkers. Where you at? All right, there you go. All right, so I talk with my hands, so be okay with that.
Do you think?
All right. So what I want to talk about is, you can hit that real quick. Hold on, back it up. Your business, that should be your path to financial freedom. See, unfortunately, a lot of people, they don't see their business as a path to financial freedom. They just see it as a way to make some money. But they don't take that money and make that money make money, and make that money make more money, and then flip it and quadruple it and quintuple it and really have it working while you just sit back and be like, man, that might work good, but. so it should be a path to financial freedom. So what do you want? Now, these are, very rudimentary steps in business. Obviously, startup, you want to ensure that your model is sustainable enough to grow and become profitable in the very near future. Most startups want that. Established businesses, you want your business to grow exponentially and have the ability to expand into other markets and preferably tap into the international market as well. And then enterprises, you already experienced massive success, and you intend to continue that success and create a company that may be qualified to become a publicly traded entity, like on the NYSE or the NASDAQ. So, and maybe even a blue chip like the Apples and the Walmarts of the world. So, you want to do that, but at every stage of your development, you got to focus on one key element: your financial well-being. See, you can make a lot of money, but you can still be living like you live in paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people don't. Some people, when I say that, they say, "Well, LeBaron, how is that even possible? I'm making $500,000-$600,000 a year." If you don't understand how to play the game is going to play you. Anybody understand that? Any sports fans in the room? All right. So, anybody good in sports? All right. So one of the things that I've learned about us as human beings, and I don't know why my whole thing coming up. But we're walking financial contradictions. See, before you hit that, who heard knowledge is power?
Sure.
Everybody believes it. Who believes it? Raise your hand high, because I wear glasses. I can't start.
Start the question.
What if I told you that I believe it, but it's incomplete?
Yes.
Applied or applicable knowledge.
Yeah. There you go.
Is power.
Yeah.
Because how many master's degree people do you know that's working at McDonald's? I know a lot. If you don't get the knowledge that you can actually use to improve your life and the lives of others, then what's the point? I don't need a bunch of theory. I don't need Pythagoras, and I don't even know who that is. I didn't need to know it in high school, especially in college. And I don't have a college education. I dropped out of high school in 12th grade. But we're walking contradictions. Let me show you what I mean by that. Now, we all know to do this. Go on. Now, we all know you buy low, you sell high. Who didn't know that? Raise your hand if you never knew. Okay. However, this is what we actually do. Go ahead. We buy high, which is insane. And when things are going low, we sell. But we all know you buy low and you sell high. But for some strange reason, when our emotions get into the mix, our logic gets overtaken, and we're like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my money. sell it, sell. It's like, no, you gotta use your logic. You gotta remember that finance. There you go. You have to remember that when it comes to your money, money is a mental game. It's not an emotional game. So you can't let your emotions get the better of you when it comes to your money, because who knows the stock market goes up and goes down? Was anybody invested in 2008? I know all y'all mad y'all. So do you know anybody who had their 401k in 2008?
Yeah.
What happened to their 401k in 2008? Dropped. Was that a good thing or bad?
Depends.
Well, who says, raise your hand if you say it was a horrible thing. Raise your hand. Bad. 2008, market went down 40% in a 6-month period. So if you had 100 grand, it went from 100 to 60 in 6 months. Who thinks that's bad? Raise your hand high so I can see it. Who thinks it was a good thing?
You made money.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who raised your hand saying it was a good thing, why was it a good thing?
Property was super cheap.
Because we were taught buy low, sell high.
There you go.
So if you have mega corporations like Microsoft and Apple that went from $800 a share down to $150 a share,
Yep.
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a wonderful.
That's a freaking sweet thing. If you don't let your emotions get the better of you.
And if you understand what's happening.
Exactly.
It's all about knowledge that you can use. That's powerful.
There you go.
If you know how to play the game, if you know how to understand the rules of the game, when things transpire within the game, you know how to move. I know none of the rest of y'all was raised in the hood. I know we was raised in the hood. All right. So when you was walking to the, we got bodegas in New York. Y'all got bodegas?
We got the corner store.
The corner store. Stove.
It's just a fancy corner store. It's bodega. Hey, my baby. You get that butter? Nah, I'm just saying. So think about it. If you walk into the bodega and you notice something not right, you notice something out of the ordinary. When you were raised in the hood, you know something about to happen when certain things are out of the ordinary.
Yes.
Once you recognize it, what do? Do you say, forget him, I need this quarter water, sir. Like, no. You like, it's over. Come on, man. As soon as you get in the building, like, I knew it was about to happen. Because I recognized, because I understood what was transpiring within the environment.
Yeah.
2008, if you didn't understand the game, there was no way you could recognize what was transpiring. That was the biggest money-making opportunity of our lifetime.
Yes.
If you understood it. The challenge is most people don't. Financial education and financial literacy is a huge deficiency, especially when you look like us. We're not taught it in schools. You're not taught it on jobs. You're not taught it anywhere. Our parents, unfortunately, were never taught, so they couldn't teach us. So we have to, it's 2019. There's no excuse now for you not to have access to knowledge. You can go on your phone and learn about finances. The only challenge is that phone is not going to understand where you came from. They're not going to understand your personality. They're not going to understand your emotions. They're not going to understand you, the human being. That's why people like me exist. People who are licensed, experienced, trained to understand the psychology of money when it comes to especially our folks. They definitely kill. You got to manage your personal finance. So as an entrepreneur, there are a few tips I want to make sure you have. First tip is diversify, diversify, diversify. One thing I love about your presentation, Nia, is you are visionary. You got hustle mind. You see different aspects of different ways to make your business make more business and make more money and create another business. And see, visionary thinkers recognize visionary thinkers. You understand diversification. You see all the eggs in one basket? Who like having their eggs in one basket? You do? You got a brother like that, you do. Diversify, baby. All right. So next thing you gotta do is you gotta prepare for the down periods in your business.
Yes.
You gotta prepare because they will happen. Damn, son. Pain right there. It's real. It's real. Trust me, I know pain. Pain. I've been in this business for 18 years. Trust me. We've had ups and we've had downs. Thank God for the ups, boy. Because they make it all worth it. So, you gotta prepare for the rainy day. Next thing you gotta focus on is you gotta plan for tomorrow. See, a wise man once told me, you gotta live like you're gonna die today, but you also gotta live like you're gonna live the next 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Which means you gotta plan for today, but also plan for multiple generations while you're here. But teach your next generation how to plan for multiple generations ahead as well. You gotta prepare. How many of you all would like to see 80, 85 years of age? 150. I feel it. Yeah. How many of you would like to see 80, 85, 150 and be broke? That's it. You'd be, look at the Walmart. Would you like a buggy? Like, no. Nah, son. But think about it. When you go to Walmart, who do you see greet you at the door? Yeah. You honestly believe that they want to be there? Hell no, they don't want to be there. They ran out of money. Why? Because nobody taught them how to plan, or they didn't plan. You gotta plan for your future. Next thing is, this is something. When I talk to my brothers and my sisters, we have a challenge with in a lot of cases. Live within your means. Stop trying to ball out. Stop. Stop trying to impress people that you don't even like. Freak them. Stop worrying about your hating relatives. They're like, oh, you a millionaire yet? I will be. More than I can say for you. But don't be like, just go get a BMW, show these people. Like, I'm going to rock my Toyota Camry and have $10, $20 million in my assets. Liquid, on top of real estate, on top of businesses that I own. And I'm going to rock my Toyota. I'm going to be like some of my mentors and rock a pickup truck with a hat back. Like, what up, son? You like my pickup? Be just like that. I'm going to go to a thrift store, get me some shoes. But I'm worth 100, 200, 300, 500 million, 2, 5, 20 billion. But I don't have to show you I'm worth that. Why would I? Unless it's a special occasion. Now, if it's a special occasion, then I'll whip out my joint that's been covered in the back of the garage that gets serviced privately by a private staff, and then I'll stun on them for a night. And that's it. And then I go back home and rock my pickup truck. See, that's how you keep your wealth. And that's how you pass that wealth to generation after generation after generation, and it multiplies exponentially every generation. How many of you had a grandparent that passed away and left you wealthy? That's a problem. Live within your means so you can create greater wealth. Another tip is protect your most valuable asset. What is your most valuable asset? Call it out. Whatever you think it is.
Your life and your family.
Your ability to generate income is your most valuable asset. That's why you need to protect it with things like disability insurance and life insurance. Your ability to generate income is your greatest asset. It's not your house, it's not your car, it's not your jewels. It's your ability to generate income. Next tip is maximize the tax gain. Let me tell you what a big challenge that a lot of entrepreneurs have. You make a lot of money, but you don't play the game of tax deferral. You don't play the tax game. So Uncle Sam blasts you with a bill every year. And you don't realize that if I just slid my money over here, I can reduce my taxable income by $50, $60, $100,000 in this account. And then in this account, if I put monies into tax-free investment vehicles like bonds and things of that nature, where they're debt instruments, where I get an income tax-free off these things, but I avoid taxation by sliding my monies in here, then I don't get taxed. Anybody heard Jay-Z's verse when he was like, my account is so good, I'm practically living tax-free?
Yep.
Do you think that was just a line? Or do you think that's real?
He's teaching you.
You got to listen to what people are telling you. These things exist. You just got to know how to play this game or get somebody who knows the game that can help you reduce or damn near eliminate your taxation. I mean, I'm going to say this. It might be controversial. I don't like this dude, but have you seen his taxes? The President of the United States. Why do you think you haven't seen his taxes? Because he's a billionaire and he don't pay taxes. Why do you think he don't want you to see it? So you don't have to like the man, but you got to understand he knows something that you don't. Learn what he knows and use what he uses so you can set your people up for multiple generations like he did. So, hey, one more time. I'm going to teach you some rules to the game of money. Anybody heard of the rule of 72 before? Who uses the rule of 72 currently? How many? So I have more than usual hands go up. But when I said who's utilizing it, people something like that. Nah. You gotta know. So explain the rule of 72. Anybody who raised their hand, explain it to me.
So, whatever, as an example, if you have your money, 10,000, and let's just say in order for your money to double, you divide the amount of years to 72, and that practically will tell you when your money would double, assuming, interest and your rate and what have you.
Stop right there. How you know I was gonna use 10,000? So exactly what he said. You gotta know how to make your money make money. You can't depend on banks, insurance companies, credit unions. Some people love the credit union.
Yeah.
Your credit union loves you because you think you're getting a high rate of return, but they're making so much money off your money. So 3 goes into 72 24 times, bring the whole thing. 3, 6, 12%. Which would you prefer, 40, 160, or 2.5?
2.5.
So if I said 12% is available, but it's risky, are you going to put your money there? Yes or no? Who said that? It's a big risk, but I'll take it. What if it wasn't a big risk? See, that's what most people think. You get 12%, you think it's a big risk. It's not. Remember, diversify. You can get that, and you could have gotten that since the Great Depression through a well-diversified portfolio. Not super risky. but you guaranteed to be broke in your future if you go with the, I'm guaranteed at the bank. So you gotta understand the game of money. You gotta understand the rules of the game. See, techpreneurs are the designers of our future society. So that's why we're here. This is a tech event. I understand, first of all, I'm a tech nerd. Any other tech nerds in the house? I'm a tech nerd. I've loved technology since I was young. So I understand the trends of how techpreneurs and what they're creating. It's amazing. So you're the future designers of our society. But as you grow your business, your wealth needs to grow as well. You can have a high income, but it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep.
Yes.
And how much you can flip into other ways. If you don't take an interest in your money, it will abandon you at some point. Guaranteed. It will abandon you. And understanding how to use the instruments of the financial system as you build and grow your tech empire will allow you to use it to your advantage and allow your business to thrive well into the future. You just can't focus on your business. You got to focus on your business and your money. Because eventually, your money is going to take care of you while your business is passed on to your children's children. You understand what I'm saying? You are responsible for your own present, financially, and your financial future. And for personal consultation, workshops, seminars, and classes, please contact me. That's my IG. That's my email. And that's my cell phone. I appreciate you so much for your time. You all have yourself a wonderful
Isn't that amazing? And that's what but yeah, it was amazing. Our last but not least.
You have a hole right there between
Black
them.
tech. Oh yeah, before that. Anyone got any questions?
shoot.
So what was one thing through your financial journey that you had the biggest change in your life? Knowledge, what someone told you, or what you experienced? The biggest change in your life.
I mean, really quickly. When I was 16 years old, I used to work at the Brooklyn Army Terminal. And I used to work for a company known as Smith Barney. Anybody ever heard of that?
Yes.
That used to be a huge investment firm all over the world. Smith Barney. I worked at 16 in the Brooklyn Army Terminal. I used to send prospectuses to all of the brokers all over the world. And no one ever said, hey, LeBaron, do you know what this thing is?
Mm.
Nobody said, do you understand this document known as a prospectus is an investment that can make you wealthy? So fast forward to 23 years of age. Somebody told me about the Rule of 72 and said, you can make your money, make money, instead of working like a borrowed slave the rest of your life. And then I immediately went back to 16 when I worked at Smith Barney, an investment firm, and how they could have taught it to me. And I could have been way further ahead in life if somebody would have said, LeBaron, let me teach you this financial stuff. So that moment at 23, when I saw the Rule of 72, that was the biggest impact in my life in the financial realm. That showed me that I needed to do something to help people learn this game of money. So that was mine. So I know I'm very dramatic with my hands. I'm a New York. I can't help it.
You want me to answer too?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
What was one thing, probably a financial experience or financial teaching that was made the biggest impact in your life?
I think honestly, recently for us, we had a client that she was our client for 15 years. And at 53, a day after her birthday, she passed away. And she left a 17-year-old and a 24-year-old. And she had, she worked a decent job, had a home on Long Island, New York, cars, everything. And we were able to deliver a check to those two young men for $425,000. Wow. That's how much she had in life insurance. And the thing is that we saw their life change. Because of that money, they did not have to sell the home or foreclose on the home. They didn't have to give up the cars. We were able, and the thing about it that's different than just a life insurance agent, because we teach wealth, is that we were able to put the $425,000 into an investment that's producing $2,000 a month. By the time these young men are in their 40s, they're going to be multimillionaires. And the youngest one is now 18, and he became like an adoptive father to them. They call him like every day. And the 18-year-old, it kept begging him, I want to buy a BMW. He live on Long Island, the girlies, right?
Yeah.
And I got to buy a BMW. So he's trying to talk him out of it for what?
Like 3 months.
Right? Finally, the oldest one, like, look, I'm tired of him. Can you please just give him the money to buy this BMW? So finally, he let him buy the BMW. But, I see how their life changed. And I could just imagine most of us, our parents will not leave us $425,000. And that could be the difference when you think about Master P. He said his grandfather left him $10,000 from life insurance, and that's how he built his empire.
Yep.
And that can change. And I see how these men, their life has changed forever because of what their mother did for them.
And then can I add another piece to that story? The youngest brother is going in partnership with his godmother. They're going to be opening up a Chick-fil-A restaurant.
Wow.
Now, if you know, the average revenue for a Chick-fil-A restaurant is $4.5 million a year.
Yes.
That's the average revenue. They're going to be on Long Island.
The only two.
It only two.
It's about to go down. And I'm their financial advisor.
So, any other questions before we?
One more question? Anyone?
Go ahead.
How do you break the trust barrier when meeting a potential client for the first time?
Well, that's an easy one. If you go in the door trying to sell somebody something, you're automatically going to be met with a barrier. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be a wall up. So, first things first, you gotta let them know you're human. You gotta let them know, look, we came from the same place. I'm gonna tell you about me. I'm gonna let you know about me. I'm gonna learn about you. We're gonna talk about the things that matter to you, your family, your passions. We not just gonna be like, yo, these life insurance good? No. We're gonna talk about the things that you care about. And then as we communicate and as we converse, we start to get on the same side of the table. We start to get on the same page. Now you're more open to the knowledge. And then we always add value. We always add new information and knowledge that most people don't have. And when you give something of value to someone, a lot of times they're more appreciative and they're more willing to become a client. So I've been doing that for 18 years, and thankfully we have a large client base. We have a lot of people that depend on us for their financial security. And I told you, we're not college grads. I dropped out of high school in 12th grade. Even though everybody was like, why you was almost done? I didn't feel like going, damn it. So
I did graduate.
well, we never went to college, but we run a successful financial services business, and it's expanding. We're in 9 states, expanded to like 10, 11, just from my agency.
And we're looking right now for 10 people to train and teach them how to open their own agency. That's our goal right now.
So
So,
And it's all about each one teaching one, each
There you
one
go.
giving the other person. Because that's why I love what Neil was talking about. How, the profit sharing partners, that's how we gotta be in business. You gotta create and design a game plan where it's not just you being the top dog, you can give other people a shot at being top dogs in their life.
Yeah.
Man, it's a beautiful thing. So hopefully that answers your question. I know I go off on tangents.
Give it up for them one more time.